Today, I'd like to help you guys demystify the sprint car rear end, the components, and what fundamentals that you can afford to ignore or not ignore when selecting parts and considering all the variables. I beat my head off the wall for 15 years driving sprint cars, wrenching on them, so you don't have to. So I had legends like Bubby Jones, my grandfather Galen Fox, and many others that tried to tell me these things, and I did not listen. I may not have been Steve Kinzer behind the wheel, but I know damn well I was cheating myself, not having these fundamentals correct, because there's no way you can overcome this and perform on the level that you will when these fundamentals are corrected. This is number one. Make that 0-1 in the sprint car fundamentals wrong with 99% of the cars in the world. You might say, I won last weekend. What are you talking about? Or I've had a lot of success. Well, that may be. But look around at how many of your competitors were also racing with these same flawed fundamentals as you see here in this video. It's very, very rarely that you see a sprint car that has both of these key issues resolved. And those are the most famous and sought after sprint cars that there are in America or Australia or New Zealand. So it's no coincidence or question why cars like the Crite 69K are cars that people like Christopher Bell, and why a car like Paul Silva's is a car that Kyle Larson wants to be in. And you won't see people of that caliber hopping in cars that don't have this figured out, because if they did, you wouldn't see them having any success at all. This is what separates having a blast sprint car racing from eventually becoming so frustrated that you can't justify spending any more time on it, because you tried everything in your own mind. It all ends up relatively the same. The end result here is obviously a lack of grip, because right when you need it the most, that birdcage bolt and flag and arm are deflecting to the point of the yield point of a 1/2 inch bolt and a die bent torsion arm. It's simply not robust enough to hold these wicked machines without giving up. So let's go through this step by step. This is a non-wing sprint car qualifying at Kokomo Speedway. So I'm sure you guys have wondered before, why won't that armheim stay tight? I tighten it up every damn night. Well, as you can see, that 1/2 inch bolt is deflecting all the way to damn near its yield point, to where the bolt itself is twisting the heim and breaking it loose. You can see this is a twin pickup on the bottom, but just imagine like it's a 3 pickup MPD cage, non-wing bird cage. That bolt is deflecting to the point where if it was in the middle hole where you were running it, it's deflecting up to where it's almost lined up with the top hole, and then springing down, unloading all the way to where it would be lined up with the bottom hole. So, as that bolt deflects that far uphill, that little weak die bent arm has only one thing it can do, is travel uphill. And the torque of the engine is yanking that thing with 700 foot-pounds of torque. So, you've really got to pay attention and absorb this, because I want everybody racing sprint cars to have fun. That's why everybody started doing it. You can run 22nd and still get an adrenaline rush and have a blast in the moment. But you're going to be dissatisfied when you've proven to yourself that you can do it before. If you can drive a sprint car up front one night, you know you can do it any night if the conditions in your car are right. But there's no way to overcome the flaw that this is injecting into your program. There's no way to even calculate the accurate spring rate of this corner of the car, let alone the left rear also, but you know what I mean. Everybody is buying shock dynos and $1,500 shocks and bar dynos, and well, maybe my bars are getting weak. Let's throw a set of bars in it. Let's get my shocks checked, rebuilt, putting tires on them, getting motors overhauled. The amount of money it takes to drop the door every night is no joke. Even if you're running a steel block sprint car, it's outrageous these days. So I don't want to see you cheating yourself out of at least having the potential to reach the levels that you know and believe you can. There's absolutely no downside to correcting this problem. I really liked the video that Smiley's did about his twin bearing bird cages and how much side load that removes from that bird cage bearing to allow it to roll freer. And that is absolutely true. But he left out that this part of it and how it's constantly unloading your car. It's like a rubber band 5 times a lap bouncing your tire up out of the dirt instead of letting it go down into the dirt and drive. So, if I still had these style of components on my car, I would simply take some time off until I could get the parts to correct it, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things, nothing. Get you a set of Kreitz double bend billet arms. If you got Smith tie arms or whatever, that's fine. But there is something to the the torsion arm, the additional leverage it has when it's running in to the birdcage flag straight. The double bend is important also, but the double bearing bird cages supported where the arm is right in the center and it's supported on both sides of the cage is absolutely critical also. So I think this might wake up some of you. I hope if you take the time to listen and watch this one time, honestly, I don't see how you could ever justify wasting another trip to a racetrack without correcting it. And I say this without ego, simply wanting everyone to have fun, but primarily to be safe. Because this is how every bicycle and sprint car racing and flip and injury and, probably some casualties are a result of this fundamental problem. And until you have the fundamentals correct, nothing else will fall in line. So, I believe in you guys. I believe you're intelligent. And I believe you're going to correct this problem and start kicking their asses. And I hope so. I really hope so. Because this was a $11 camera I got at Menards. It cost me $11 to figure this out. And if I was campaigning one, I would have a camera on each corner and the cockpit every time I went on the track, so that when I got home, I could slow the video down and sync it and see exactly what was going on with my race car and not guessing at it anymore. Because you can slow it down frame by frame and eliminate all the guesswork. And the advantage that will give you, it's hard to even fathom. So all you have to be willing to do is willing to learn and prove yourself wrong at any moment. And being grateful and happy if you do prove some of your former beliefs wrong. And taking it as a net positive, because that's what it is. Believing in yourself in sprint car racing is imperative, but you have to loosen your ego enough to prove yourself wrong every night, to make progress. So, I hope this put a smile on your guys' face and some hope in your hearts. And I'm going to come back with some more data analysis real soon. Gas it up, cowboys.